Hello, word nerds! We are live. It is Sunday, July 5th, and we are here with a write-in because it's the first week of Camp Nano, and also a write-in sounded fun, and also we didn't know what topic to do, so then we did a write-in. So welcome. If you've never joined us for a write-in before, the way this works is we do set amounts of time where we all just write, whatever it is that we're working on. And then at the end of that time, we check in with each other, share our word counts, cheer each other on. At the start of each sprint, we do provide word writing prompts that you may use, but you don't have to if they're not useful for you. And this week, all of our prompts are going to be themed around a collab video that we have coming soon. I was thinking about this because I sent Kelly a clip about where my most recent idea came from, and I talked about my ideas section in my notes on my phone, and so all the prompts are going to be random ideas that I've put down in my phone or things that I've seen around that I thought were inspiring. We usually do 3. We'll probably jump in at the 45 for our first one, since we're at kind of a weird time, which seems to happen no matter what we do and no matter how close to on time we start. So what's everyone working on today? Rachel.
Okay. Well, I'm currently working on an essay that I found out is due tomorrow that I didn't know until like 2 days ago. So we're working on that. But it's about Scottish female writers during the Romantic era. So
that sounds amazing.
It is my specialty, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing a little bit of like random work things for the first one, and then hoping to jump over to some brainstorming and plotting for the book I will eventually write.
Yeah. Yes. Helen.
I'm working on my Eldritch Horror Great Gatsby, but like adjacent, because I have to reread The Great Gatsby because I haven't read it in like 10 years. So I'll be listening to the audiobook and making notes for things that I can use.
Nice. Emma, who is back.
Yeah. As long as my internet keeps working, it keeps going out. But yeah, I'm just doing some last minute fixing up some things. And at the end of the chat, I guess I'm going to send this book to Megan because she was pestering me all weekend.
I just stood over her bed at night and I was like, Emma, when are you going to give me your book?
I was like, I've been beta reading so many other people's things. Where's yours?
Believe me, this was her showing restraint. Like ever since you gave birth, she was like
a week after. I was like, how long do I have to wait?
Because I had like every intention of being like, oh, like once I go on maternity leave, I'll send it to her, and then I just like didn't get on my computer ever. So
understandable.
Yeah.
Also,
I didn't think about that factor.
Send it to me. I just finished reading Kyra's beta reading project in like 2 days. So
I know now I'm nervous because I've heard how good Kyra's book was, and I'm like, oh gosh.
It was stupidly good.
It was
rude, honestly.
It's rude of her to like set such a high standard before I send my book to people.
I think that was the first time I ever beta read, and I was like, I have no notes. What is happening right now? I don't have any notes.
Yeah, I was like preparing my edit letter and I was like, do I just like really like Kyra? Like what if someone else like looks at it and says all these things? So I'm glad that
I apparently said
my beta reading skills are okay.
Like the one note I had was the exact same thing you said apparently. Yes. We're on the same page. Emma, you already said what you were doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I am working on the Druid book again because I am a sucker for punishment and I'm rewriting the entire thing from scratch. So
oh wow.
Yay.
Oh yeah. I'm doing some revising because I'm always gonna be revising apparently. No break from revising.
Yeah.
Ever.
The rest of your life. Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome to Caitlin, who's working on the first draft of a new thriller. Misty Kate, who's working on multiple projects for camp, editing fanfic, then revising and writing some longer pieces that have sat for way too long. Shannon is working on a sci-fi romance for Camp Nano, and Vanessa is working on a fantasy novel for Camp Nano.
Wow, I didn't even realize it was Camp Nano. I feel
I
very out of the loop. It is July, isn't it?
Oh, right, it's July.
Yeah.
At least you have an excuse.
I don't know what time is anymore.
That's valid.
Yeah, July 1st came and I was like, oh, look, it's July 1st. It's camp. And then I just did nothing. But I am hoping to write a lot. I feel like I've written an okay amount this year generally, so.
Show off.
No kidding.
I wrote a stupid amount of the Druid book when I was like first excited about, like I was hitting 4,000 or 5,000 words a day because that's how excited I was. And then Sylvia's like, "Can you write the entire synopsis? Like rewrite the whole thing?" I was like, "Okay." And then I came to a dead screeching halt. So
I feel like only one of us is allowed to be in like a good writing space at a time. So
that way.
Yeah, who's sharing? We all have to share the brain cell. So whose turn is it for us to get the brain cell?
Last year it wasn't my turn for 12 months.
So you're due the single brain cell that we share between us is what you're saying?
Yeah.
We're like the fates who share an eye.
Yeah, I was literally
but
saying the Nords or whatever that share the eyeball between them. And then it's our brain cell.
See, we really do
Can
share
we
a brain
please
cell.
do that? But it's like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but like writing music.
Love it.
Except that would suck in real life because you're
It
like, oh,
would.
the sixth person needs it now, so I can't write for another year.
But it would make for a really good plot if, like, you've got a writers group and they only have this like one thing of inspiration between all of them.
Yes.
And it would be like an object that they have to share between them.
Yes.
And then one of them is murdered.
Yes. And you're like,
Yeah.
is
And then
it
the
who
object
did
was
it?
missing.
And the eye is
Like,
the only thing that saw
because
it.
she wants to be a famous author, and she's like so ambitious that she would knock
Oh my
off
God.
Karen or whatever. Right? Like, she'll kill the rest of them for the inspiration jar or whatever.
Oh,
Now we'll write this book with like 7
Yeah.
POVs.
It's an anthology. We're
I was
an
just gonna
anthology. Coming the moment we all figure out how to be inspired at the same time.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well, with that, it is time to write. Again, your prompts are themed around random ideas I've had and liked enough to write into my ideas note card thing. So the first prompt is 2 people have the exact same pain at the same time.
Ooh.
And I will put that in the discussion section. And this is going to be a 20-minute sprint, so we will check in at 5 after the hour. Good luck. It's time. How did it go for everyone?
Good. Forced me to like do one of those tasks I've been putting off forever for no good reason. It is never as involved as I think it's going to be. So
Yeah, I'm just rereading everything and getting back into the headspace.
I got almost through a whole chapter of The Great Gatsby and I made lots of notes. So success.
Good.
I found a scene that I like never finished, and I still can't figure out how to finish it.
Oh no.
So I feel like 75% of the time the answer is like, oh, you can just end it where you left off. But this is one where I'm like, no, really, like it has to be.
Whoops. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll catch up on a couple of emails I need to send really quick. And one of them was someone wanted a bio from me for something. And turns out I don't know anything about myself. And this is had a crisis. So it went great.
I do that every time anyone asks for a bio for something. And I have I feel like I have 4 or 5 different bios in different sources. And I look through all of them. I'm like, oh, I hate all of these. None of these work anymore. Cool.
So yeah, let us know how you did in the discussion section. I'm thinking we'll move in pretty quickly to our second sprint and do like a shorter one. So go at the 10 for 10 minutes. And then we'll end on a longer sprint.
Sounds good.
We've got Anna E. got 217, and Griswold outlined 3 scenes most of the way. Misty Kate got 120. Shannon got 315. Lizzie 443. Caitlin 792. Zelda Girl Forever said, I'm reading Witches of Ash and Ruin and loving it so far.
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
Let's see. We had a couple questions. Zelda Girl also asked, thoughts on writing coaches. I'm thinking about becoming a writing coach in the future, but I'm unsure because coaching is expensive and writers don't make a lot of money.
I looked into that for a little while as a way of making money on the side, and I think I ended up not pursuing that because it just wasn't I was more interested in my actual writing, because it does take time to build a business. It's like building a business from the ground up, right? So if you think that's something you would be really, really passionate and excited about, and that would be your main focus, then absolutely. But that's why I didn't pursue it, because it would have just been building a whole business and trying to get clients and making a website, and it just sounded exhausting. So
I do think
it would be worthwhile.
Yeah. I think that people do make a living doing it. There's enough writers out there that would probably, sign up for something. And a lot of writing coaches have courses on the side and stuff. They'll make courses that people sign up for and pay for. So that's a side thing for them. So, I mean, it's definitely possible if that's something you feel like you want to pursue. But just be aware it's a lot of work.
Yeah. And I do think that there is a market for innovation in the writing coach world. So if you can look for the kinds of things that you would enjoy doing the most, do you want to be a motivation style? We do check-ins versus actually consulting on prose or plotting or any of that. Find what would work best for you and what you would enjoy the most, so that it'll still be a ton of work, but it'll be enjoyable work for you.
Right.
We also had a question. Roscoe asked, tips on script writing.
Kelly maybe, or
Yeah.
I feel like Megan's done more than me.
Kelly
I
maybe.
lost my headphones, but I have books.
Isn't that Desiree's specialty? Wasn't she doing screenplay for a while?
I feel like yes.
Sounds like something she would do.
Yes, definitely something a lot of us have been interested. doing more of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't done a ton of it, but I would recommend like the basic standard book is Screenplay by Sid Field, and that'll walk you through like all the basics, not just of storytelling, but also just like the structure of writing screenplays. And then I also did really enjoy writing The Pilot by William Rabkin. I would recommend skipping the last chapter because it's not great. It's not super encouraging, but the rest of it is really good information.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of it, he decided to go like, but it's really hard, so don't even do it. Which, like, how is that useful?
Why?
All writing is hard.
Weird. Weird way to end your book.
Yeah, but it's really short and I thought really interesting. It's probably less expensive than Screenplay if cost is a prohibiting factor for you. But yeah, both of those, Screenplay by Sid Field and Writing the Pilot by William Rabkin, are useful. And I'm sure there's people on YouTube who screenwrite as well. Oh my gosh, we're 1 minute over go time.
Oh no. Should we just wait another couple minutes?
Sure.
Or do you want to just go right now? Okay.
We can wait a few more minutes. We've got in the comments, Leah cut some filler words. Jana got 646. Alley Cat got 26 words but joined late. Roscoe got some storyboarding done for a movie they're planning on animating. We had a question from Anna E. How do you feel about publishing on Patreon?
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some people do it, but I haven't even followed very many to see who's doing it well and how they're engaging there. But a lot of it seems to come from having a following before you jump into it. Like it's hard to build a following on Patreon. So if you have people who are already engaging with your content, then it's something definitely worth exploring. But look at other people who are doing similar to what you want to do and see how they're engaging with their patrons and like what they're doing to keep things exciting and get people involved.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Let us know, as always, in the discussion section if there's any comments you have or anything you want us to discuss with regards to writing or reading. Our next prompt, as I mentioned at the beginning, all of these prompts are pulled from my ideas notes, which is just if I hear something that's inspiring or if something comes to me, I put it down in the note thing. So prompt number 2 is mistaken death identity because 2 characters traded IDs or jewelry or something. These are also a little big, but
the problem with these prompts is that I now want you to write all of these books.
I probably still will at some point, but I figured, the more death misidentification, So yeah, we will start that up in 1 minute, and then when we get back, I want to talk about what everyone's reading, but I don't want to start it right now because I don't want to rush through it.
Yeah. Are we doing 10 minutes again, or are we going to do?
Yeah, we'll do 10 minutes.
10.
And then, do the 20-minute to close it out.
I think 10 is exactly how much time I have left on this audiobook or on this chapter, so it'll be perfect.
Excellent.
I tend to ramble even in my essays, so this is going to be a good opportunity to be like, see if you can finish it at the 10 minutes.
Knowing that we're going to be talking about books, I'm like, I'm going to grab the book that I'm reading.
Oh, there she go. There she go.
Yeah, I want these to be close by after. Oh, actually, oh goodness, I have a stack.
And with that, it is time. So we will check in at the 25 best of luck winners. in time. How did that one go for everyone?
Finished the chapter.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very good. I opened the document and started going over. I have like a list of like all the chapters that I need to be doing things and like what needs to happen in them. That way I can hopefully just knock those out and not get caught up in, oh, I scrolled past this page and it's missing a comma. I better stop for 5 minutes. So
I'm pretty sure I changed one line. So
see. It's a great night for everyone.
I managed to write half of a paragraph.
Yes.
yeah. We're all doing amazing.
Killing it.
Absolutely killing it.
Oh, it looks like people in the comments are killing it too. People, let's see, Anna has 587, Lizzie has 314, Jen is 268, Yana is 356. All of you are doing so much better than I am.
Yes, agreed. So we have a question that is a really good one that I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about what we're reading. What's everyone reading?
Helen, why don't you start?
Well, I mean, the first and immediate, because of the absolutely shameless plug for fellow word nerds, is of course I'm still reading with the Sebastian Run. I've been in the same spot for like 2 months, but like books are hard, but I love it. It's great. I'm also reading the things off of it, but Fragments of the Lost by Megan Miranda, which I'm reading with a friend of mine from school. And it's a young adult thriller that's been very interesting. When I was home, I started reading The Glass Spare by Lauren DeStefano, which I started reading because the second book has pirates in it, and I want pirates. So I'll trudge through the first book to get to the book with pirates.
I would like to discuss that book with you when you're done, because I had feelings that apparently nobody else did.
I also read it.
Yay!
Ooh,
Feel free to discuss. Yeah.
And then if you saw our quarterly video, you'll know that I talked about wanting to read The Dime by Kathleen Kent, and I did start that, which has been very interesting. It's an adult mystery, and the lead lady is a cop, and she's a lesbian, and she's wonderful. So LGBT rep, if anyone's interested in that. And then I got this really beautiful edition of Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. And it's a circus book that is reminiscent of The Night Circus. So I am... I'm not reading it yet, right? But I want it. I think. I'm not sure. I don't actually know a whole lot about it.
I want to say it's either like a phantom retelling or has phantom feels or something. It's been on my list for a while.
It looks really cool.
It's so pretty.
Yes.
I'm about to start rereading Devouring Grey. I'm very excited because then I can move on to the Deck of Omens immediately afterwards. So
I think I'm gonna have to do that too. I don't remember anything from the first book.
That was my issue. Oh, nice.
Hey.
Of course, Helen just like whipped it out.
It happened to be like right on my shelf, like right there, and I'm just like, I can do this.
Yeah, I like just bought the Deck of Omens and started reading the first chapter and went, yeah, I don't remember anything that happened in the first one, so let's go back.
Yeah.
I just finished The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, which was very different from what I normally read, but it was really good. So I liked it a lot. And I also recently read Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, which is fantastic.
I want to read it so bad.
And I think I'm probably going to read Mexican Gothic next, but I have to figure out where I'm going to read my copy. Because
I think I put it back where it was. Over on like the right side.
I don't see it.
Oh yeah, because you guys saw each other in person.
Yes.
Recently.
Megan like went through my shelves while she was here. And I'm like, where's my book?
It should be on top of the steel prints. If I'm remembering correctly.
I'll find it. It's somewhere here.
But, yeah, after some heavy quarantining, we made the journey down to Emma's house, which is not too far from mine. and met the baby. And I also met all of her arcs that she got at a book festival last year or earlier this year. I don't know. How long has this year been?
What year is it?
Yeah.
But
But
I have to ask. Sorry, I'm just so curious.
Okay.
Roscoe Rose is reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I just got given that book by somebody, and I'm so curious. So, Roscoe, let me know if you like it or not. I'm super curious. I've heard very mixed things. So,
I saw today the funniest review of it. And it was, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. You might have to.
Was it by a YouTuber that was the review that you saw? Was it by a YouTuber?
No, yeah, it was from Caleb Joseph.
Yes, I just watched it.
You did? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, oh,
Yes.
God, he's so funny. But yeah, it's I'm so conflicted on reading it now.
I know. I don't know if I want to or not.
No, I am currently almost done my advanced copy of The Faithless Hawk, which is the sequel to
Merciless Crow.
Merciful Crow.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it myself. Yeah, and I'm almost done. And like this book is like it slaps. It's so good. I was worried that it would have that like middle book syndrome, but even just reading it, it's so exciting that I'm like, I feel like I'm reading a first book all over again. It's really good.
Whoa.
I know, and I'm almost done, and I have a feeling that something bad's gonna happen. So.
Yay.
So many books I have to read.
Yeah.
Oh, Helen mentioned our quarterly video. So on Friday, I actually got to read all of Clap When You Land.
Yes.
And I watched Hamilton. So I did our book club and our movie all in one day. It was amazing. Highly recommended. It was so good. So good.
Yeah, so
we have a whole chat about it. Don't talk about it.
No, I'm just letting you know that like I also watched it.
Pretty sure that whole chat is just gonna be us going so good.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone went to bed while I was at Emma's house, and I just like went to the bookshelf and I was like, okay, I can definitely finish this one tonight. What am I gonna read? So I got a good chunk of the way into Mexican Gothic and then bought the ebook on the way home.
Ooh. That one
it's really good.
Yes.
I really liked her first one, so I can't wait to
What was her
try
first
her
one?
next one. Gods of Jade and Shadow.
Oh, I heard of that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like fantasy novel with old Aztec gods, and it was good. It was real good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very good so far. I'm very curious to see like what horrible things are gonna happen next.
Yes. I'm excited.
Well, I guess we should kick things off at the 35. Let's answer N. Griswold's question, which was, I've been going back and forth about killing one character or two in my opening scene. What questions do you ask yourself to solve dilemmas like this when you're writing?
It's a great question.
For opening scenes in particular, I think you definitely have to ask yourself, like, are readers going to care? I think is a really big thing with like any sort of like action or death of the person. Or they just be like, these people cared.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit at the end of that.
Yeah, so just like you don't want readers in your first scene to be like, who are these people and why should I even care about their death?
If you're really torn, I'd maybe write it with the second one and always like write it with two and edit out the second one once you get beta feedback.
Yeah.
But if it's too much, then you know, but it's harder for people to imagine it with the extra kind of thing. So go all out and then trim rather than try to add back in.
And it also just depends on like how much attention you're giving to the deaths. Like if it's like, this is a free world, people are going to die a lot. And you just want to like, boom, boom, we're killing people. Then that's very different from like 2 whole pages exploring everyone's grief over these 2 characters.
Yeah, like are you setting the mood?
Yeah.
Like I think the first scene of a Game of Thrones is like death and people rising from the dead.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this kind of book. Yeah.
So we've got our last sprint of the night is going to be a 20-minute sprint. So we're going to go from now until the 55. And your prompt is, again, pulled from my ideas folder. Your character gets one letter telling them not to look out the window, but then gets a dozen more from people they trust telling them to look out the window immediately.
What?
Wow.
This is so cool.
I don't
My
remember
brain
where I heard that. I'm sure I did not make it up myself.
My brain is already like scrambling to try to figure out what they see when they look out the window.
Most of these, it's like I read something and I was like, oh, but what if? And like twisted it to something else. So I don't want it to be like, I came up with this entire thing by myself. All right, so we will check in at the 55. Good luck, everyone. that is time on our last word sprint for the night. Let us know how you did in the discussion section. Also, if you have any last minute things that you want us to talk about with regards to writing or reading, also let us know that. This sprint went better for me by the last 5 minutes.
Well, we take that.
It's something.
Awesome.
Hot for y'all.
Same as
Well,
you.
I now have another paragraph for this essay, so
Yay!
Yes.
chipping away at it.
One paragraph at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I finally got into it like just 5 or 10 minutes before time, and at least wrote a little bit. So
Yeah. I texted Kyra, so I was like, it's not going well. I'm not doing anything. And then she was like, remember that new scene you have to write that's really exciting? And I was like, yes. Like darted over to the right page.
that's what good writing friends are for.
Yes. Emma.
Instantly.
Oh, there we go. A little leggy. Wow.
Is Kelly still trying to switch up her?
No, that's me. We were trying really hard in the pre-chat to get all the redheads on the top row and all the brunettes on the bottom, but we had to settle for a little square thing because we couldn't get Helen to the top row.
I was taking a sip of coffee when you did that, and I almost spat it all over you. Oh boy.
Oh.
I had forgotten that was a thing, and then I watched it happen, and it...
Always here to call back old jokes.
Oh dear. Ooh, I approve of how big that coffee mug is, Helen.
It is technically a bowl, just with a handle on it.
Soup
bowl.
bowl.
Yeah, like it came
Like a
with
soup bowl.
it came with like a lid with like a little flippy thing so that you can like store soup. And it doesn't get like stuck from the steam and stuff. And I was like, that's obviously my coffee mug.
Yeah.
That is not a soup mug. Oh, I'm
When
just
it
gonna
comes
have
to caffeine, like go big
I
or
love
go
Erin's
home.
mug.
Yes.
Oh, my
Erin's mug is also great.
dad mug
Yeah.
dad today.
It's been like all week. I noticed it last time I saw you too. It was great.
I have like a lot of dad mugs for some reason. I also like that it says
Someone caught
legend.
Someone in the comments said Helen looked at her drink a little while ago like there was something wrong with it.
I forgot that I got a in my subscription box this month I got some flavored coffee, and I had forgotten that I made the flavored coffee. So I took a sip of it and was very concerned for what it like why it tasted the way it tastes. And then I remembered what it is. I was like, okay. And I tried it again and I was like, this isn't bad. It just wasn't what I was expecting.
It surprised you.
It was just alarming at the time.
Incredible.
It's like if you have like a bottle that used to be flavored water and you just have regular water in it and you take a sip and you're like, no, this isn't what it tastes like.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so wrong.
What's your flavored coffee?
It is mini donuts.
What?
Yeah, and it's not soup, like it smells like mini donuts. It doesn't taste super mini donut-y. It came in the box that I got this edition of this book in.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What subscription service do you use?
I'm a basic white girl, so
Okay. I've never done a subscription box before, but every once in
No,
a
me
while,
neither.
like Illuma Crate or Owl Crate comes out with, like these special edition ones, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll break down and order one. So, like,
Yeah.
is it
Waiting
good?
for-
Is it worth it?
yes, I've been subscribed to them for like 2 years now.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm waiting for a witch themed one, and then I will order. I know it's coming. It's got to be coming.
If I see any of them on Instagram, I'll tag you.
Yeah, let me know.
That one that was A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, but the pages were sprayed dark green, and I wanted it so bad, but
Was that Fairy Loot or something?
I'm
Fairy
not
Loot
sure.
always does sprayed edges, so I hear sprayed edges and I just assume it's Fairy Loot.
Not sure which it was, but it was gorgeous, and I was like, I can't buy a whole box right now, but maybe I can buy the book and spray the edges myself.
I
mean, I
still
did put
mad.
a tutorial video on the
Right?
channel.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Already
convenient.
taught me how to do.
I was gonna say I'm still mad about my Gideon book not having black edges, and I have
yeah,
to use
that's right.
Helen's spray tutorial to do that because I feel ripped off.
I remember that meltdown.
Yes. My little discovery mid-live chat that somebody else had a black pages and I didn't.
Yeah, you said that, and I'm just like, I'm looking at witches, and I'm like, black pages on this would be.
It would have been awesome.
I'm gonna make it a thing.
Please
Yes, please.
I'm
You can
I
put
was
it on
gonna
our
say missed
Instagram.
opportunity.
Yes. We
Because
have
I'll just ship you our copies and you'll have to keep doing it. But
okay.
Just ship her all my copies. Be
I'm-
like,
I'm
we spray all.
100% okay with that.
well, there's a
Something to do
soft,
with my hands.
there's a soft
What else
cover
are we supposed to do in
coming out.
quarantine?
Yeah,
Do they spray soft covers? I don't know. Maybe they don't have black
It's-
pages.
I've
you can.
tried it.
Oh,
It doesn't work as well.
okay.
Yeah, because you can't like weigh the cover down the same way
Okay.
for the paint to like stay properly.
Okay.
And if you're using cheap painter's tape, like I was in the video that I posted, it will tear at soft covers, but it won't really tear at hard covers.
Right.
Like, I don't have any of the books that I did it to.
Because Witches of Aspen Ruin is getting a new cover when it comes out in
Yes.
soft cover, which is exciting. But I'm like, maybe they'll do black pages, but they probably don't.
Like,
I've only seen colored pages on soft covers in like classic editions of like Great Gatsby or like Grapes of Wrath or like boring ones like that. So
I feel like
What I
oh, the shade.
what I really want is like a special edition version of Erin's book that's like inverted colors and red sprayed edges. That would look really cool.
yes, into it.
talk to your editor, Erin. Start the idea.
Like we will sell at least 3
Oh,
copies
shoot.
of the special
They
edition.
will definitely do that just because of the Warner.
My book hook just came out, so I just lost my page. But I would love to see them do like what this edition is, where it's a naked hardcover that has it like stamped on. So if they did like the black cover with like the raven in red, and then
That would
did,
be
like,
really
red pages.
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, the other
Yeah.
original cover they had was white. What was it? It was white with
Yeah.
black
I
raven.
forgot about that. Yeah.
And it had a moon behind it.
Yeah, a red moon. Yeah, it was really cool too.
Ooh.
It was really pretty.
Yeah, so many options.
Ah, yes. The book hook has been in it for so long that the book opens to the right page.
Yes. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. We've got people who did really well this sprint. Caitlin got 698. Leah finished editing a scene. Shannon got 546. Allie got 164. Misty Kate 182. Misty Kate also said, I like the Scribbler sub box. So if anyone's looking for a writing
heard of that.
box.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one.
Isn't it for writers? Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And next week we will be back with another live write-in. No, not write-in. Just
No.
kidding. It's a goal party. It's a live.
Yay!
Sorry,
Goals.
I'm mixing up all my words. Where even is my brain? But we will be back next week with a goal-setting party. Erin is going to be hosting it. We'll all be checking in on our goals, setting new ones. We'll get the audience involved as well. So hopefully you'll join us and it can be a good, fun evaluation. Let's do all the things time.
Second half of the year. Woot.
Yes. And then as usual, we have our videos up Tuesday and Thursday. So please like and subscribe if you like us and want to be subscribed to us. You can also follow us all the places at Word Nerds Vlog. So definitely do that. And yeah, once again, thank you so much to everyone who came, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.